ever felt that when you closed your eyes and you started a communication with a divine being, requesting someone that listen, I'm suffering so much. It could be God, it could be a demigod, semigod, archangel, ascended master, saint, any of these. How many of you all received answers or probably perspectives on what you were going through? Secondly, have you all ever communicated with the mental image of a deceased loved one? It could be in dreams also, and sometimes felt those energies around the house even years after they are no more. Another interaction that I want to have with them is where I want to ask them, have you all heard or experienced a loved one connected in your dream? It could be somebody who has crossed over, a human soul that has crossed over, or probably an ascended master tell you in your dreams that, can you please feed some people or give some donation, or why don't you shift this place, why don't you move out? And if there is anybody over there who has a yes to even one of these questions, that means you have already channeled messages. We all happen to be natural messengers and channelers, natural. And this automatic writing, the very word means automatic writing. It does feel automatic. Now, it happens.
I'm so sorry, I'm interrupting. I have to tell you this. My screen has blown up in the sense that it's just scrolling up continuously because everybody's written yes, 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 yes. With archangels, with Lord Ganesha, with my grandfather, been experiencing this since I was 9 years old. Lord Krishna, with uncles, connect with the spirit of unborn children, fathers, aunties, grandmothers, dreams. Yes, yes. I've stopped keeping track of the names also now because everyone's like continuously putting this in. This is fabulous. So we're all already channelers, as you were saying, Simmin. Sorry, please continue.
No problem. So it is basically the art of contacting other intelligences, and these other spiritual intelligences, through the use of pen and paper. Did we lose?
Yeah, no, your screen froze for a second and I was just going to, and then you came back immediately.
Okay, yeah. Great. So automatic writing happens to be the art of contacting other spiritual intelligences through the use of pen and paper. While you are in a very calm state of mind, your mind is absolutely clear. It's not cloudy, muddy, cluttered. You allow yourself to be a channel. You allow, receiving these energies and messages, which take place in the form of a telepathic communication from the other side. It could even be your higher self. It could be ascended masters, angels, crossed over souls, any of these. Now, channeling is where you are using your body as a vehicle, or as a tool to communicate. It appears to many of us that, see, a lot of us don't just have the five senses of seeing, smelling, tasting, hearing, and feeling. We all have that sixth sense. So it depends upon how evolved are you, how expanded is your consciousness to receive these messages from the divine sources. We have so much of historical data, right from the time of the Oracle of Delphi, who came down and gave Socrates some messages, and his world changed. I have seen this. I have done a lot of academic research along with my practical study. And I have come to a conclusion, Neelu, that channeling is a universal human experience. Now, another question which you asked me was that, are these two different or one? Actually, they happen to be two different. But what happened was that when I was getting a little upgraded from being a channeler to being a teacher, and the attunement process was given to me by the masters, they said that as both lead to the same outcome, we club them together. That's one. And two is, it all started off with me telling them, what if I don't have paper and pen? What will I do? Because there are times when I want to channel, or I want certain messages, but I don't have paper and pen. Probably I'm traveling or something. And this reminds me that, when one night when I was traveling by train, by flight, it was a very, very late flight. And in the aircraft, it was a very turbulent journey from Bangalore to Mumbai. And there was a very small child, and this baby kept on crying and crying and crying. And there was a lot of distress, not just because of the sound, externally, it's a very turbulent environment and flight, and this baby is crying, and I needed to do something for this baby. And I just closed my eyes and I just immediately connected to Mother Mary, and I told her we have to do something. And then she gave me the process, and she only told me I needed to work on a small aspect of my own inner child. And Neelu, when I started doing that, the baby started calming down, and the turbulent flight started calming down. So, in times like these, when you want to help out people and you don't have paper and pen, what will you do? So, in that sense, the masters gave me both of these processes together. If you know, I also do animal spirit communication. Yeah, so it's not just that well, but a realm lower than this also. And this happened because I am a total jungle girl. Okay, if there is a jungle boy, I'm a jungle girl. I love going to jungles and forests. I go on treks and safaris and bird watching all the time. And one day we were in one of these jungles of India, and we were quite far away. It was evening time and the sun had set, and we were quite far away from the main gate. And our driver, he told us, just hold on to whatever you have, because I'm going to drive really fast. I have a time limit. And he said it's going to take us about 30 to 40 minutes to reach there. Just hold on to whatever you have. And at that time, I realized I was seeing a lot of these animal spirits, and I suddenly felt a lightning bolt cross through my body, like a zip. And then I was seeing hordes of them. And then I realized that they were all communicating with me. And these happened to be the guardians of that forest. And the process of communication, Neelu, for those 35, 40 minutes was so amazing. It again opened up a new dimension for me. And again, for the second time, my world was not the same. So this is how we do have automatic writing and channeling, both of these coming together. It always starts first with the writing, and then the channeling develops simultaneously. But first, we do need automatic writing.
Right. Fantastic. You mentioned, and there are lots of questions coming in, which I will bring up very, very quickly. Asking, I'm pretty sure, because you mentioned, right, you're channeling the spirit world. So I'm sure you're asked this all the time. Is this mediumship?
What happens is that when we talk about mediumship, okay, it has very close association with something like seances, where you have a table, you have all these ritual, and lot of these elements around, probably wands and pentacles or something. There is smoke coming out, the person is in a state of trance. There is probably Ojua board around. Now it's where humans mediate communication between spirits of the dead. It was a very popular practice somewhere in the 19th century, if I'm not mistaken. And during seances, mediums are said to go into a state of trance. Sometimes it's light, it's very deep, but that permits the spirit to control their minds. And mediums allow their own ego to step aside and take on the ego of the spirit. I don't find this to be a very safe process. Yeah. And there are tons of stories around them. And so this is not mediumship. This is channeling. Now, channeling is something which is associated with you being a channel, of you being a recipient of messages. Neelu, it's as simple as that. You come to me, you ask me a question. That is your input. I take the question, I upload it onto the spirit world. They give me the answer, which I download, and it comes out with my pen on the paper as an output. So this input, upload, download, output is an absolutely safe process. We're not allowing anybody else to take over our egos.
Superb.